from St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians when he said that we are many parts, but we are all one body. And I believe that also applies to ECHS. Each one of us here today had an important role in the success that we're now celebrating. To our board of directors, you're the heart of this organization. 3 years ago, you made an extremely difficult decision to restore, not demolish, this aging, rapidly deteriorating building. Knowing that every part of this building, inside and out, needed to be addressed, knowing that we had zero funding secured, and knowing that a failure would be a very public failure. You found the fortitude to vote to save the building anyway, because you also knew that was what the community wanted. This community will be forever grateful for your courage. Thank you. To our donors, you're the ears of this organization. You heard about the dire status of this building. You listened to input from the community, and you heard our pleas for financial aid. And in addition, you had the faith in us that we would be good stewards with your gifts. Without you, none of this would have been possible. This community will be forever grateful for your generosity. Thank you. And to our craftsmen, my go-to guys. You're the eyes of this organization. Your expert, experienced vision saw exactly what needed to be done, and you did your jobs with such devotion to detail. It was so obvious that you took pride in your work, and that this project meant so much more to you than a paycheck. This community will be forever grateful for your talents. Thank you. And to our staff and volunteers, you are the hands and feet of this organization, literally. Whether it was carrying up boxes of books 3 flights of stairs up, only to turn around and carry them down a different flight of stairs later, you did your work without complaining. And without you, we could have never accomplished what we did within the time that we did it. This community will be forever grateful for your service. Thank you. But everybody needs a head, and I think we all know who that is. Our executive director, Amanda Brooke, is without a doubt the face and the brains of this organization. And did I mention that the Hayes Chamber of Commerce named her Citizen of the Year? Amanda, it has been such a pleasure witnessing your growth these past 3 years. Your growth in confidence, your growth in communication, and in vision. This community will be, should be, forever grateful for your dedication to an organization that most people left for dead. Thank you. And while we're so grateful that we can spend this Friday evening basking in the glow of our current accomplishments, know this. Come Monday morning, this body, that is ECHS, will be back at work focusing on our next big project. We are not done yet. So, thank you. And now here is Amanda.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Okay, for Mike. So, I think there was, are you with Laura's Financial as well?
No.
No, okay. There was everybody along the passion. And it's great to see people's jaws drop when they come in here. And you guys will get to see the first sneak peek, but as the summer goes on, there's going to be more people that are amazed that this is hiding in the corner of downtown Hayes, and they didn't know it or didn't know how wonderful it could be, and who the heck thought to tear it down? Anyway, as our future is going, we are not stopping. Part of the reason we were able to finish this building is, number one, because we have a storage unit over in Victoria that has also gotten done simultaneously with this, so a lot of the artifacts that are not on display permanently will be over there. But for the time being, this summer we are going to rent a display from the Smoky Hill Museum out of Salina that will take up the space so that we can invite people in all summer long during the tourist season and still be able to do some of the history work and have displays so people can come visit us while we don't have our permanent displays up. It's called A Place to Call Home, and it is a life-size or almost life-size, 3/4 size replica of a covered wagon. It is hands-on, bring children through, and it's got a lot of other display parts that talk about life on the prairie and things that would have happened around here as well. So that'll be up June through September. So this building won't just sit empty. We will have customers. We'll have patrons come in and see it, all while we're still doing our work behind the scenes. This room, specifically next year, if you come in April next year, we'll have our permanent displays up. Prior, when we had a museum here, it was wonderful, told wonderful stories, but it was sectioned off, and it was just a museum. It was a space that was used as a museum. Now that we've refinished it, it's an exhibit itself. So we don't want to ruin that sideline. So as you come in through the front doors, that sideline through the center will stay, and you will see the regalness of what was a Presbyterian church and the grandeur of the 1920s style that's in here. We will have permanent displays focusing on Hayes history, entrepreneurship, businesses, education, important aspects of Hayes life, or neat happenings or famous residents of Hayes. I call it the horseshoe around the perimeter, and some movable partitions that don't rise up as high as the previous ones, 9 or 10 feet, will be in the center where we can push them aside and still use this space as a presentation space. Or I've already talked to the Hayes Community Theater and the children's area, or the children's theater might put their presentation on up here this fall. I'd love to host some other community events, meetings for other organizations. They've used the Hayes High auditorium for years. It is leaking and it's deteriorating like this one was, but this would be a great place to host some of their smaller things as well. So as you're out in the community, please tell them that this space is going to be available, and it's gorgeous, and hopefully we can keep it open for those kinds of organizations and activities free of charge, because we've lent on the community and their support, and that's what this is for. It really sits as a cornerstone to downtown and hopefully the community. So, like I said, this area will be mainly Hayes history and the Wild West that brings people in off the highway. Then in Victoria, that one hopefully will be open within 2 years, and it will talk about the neighboring communities, the Bulgar German immigrants, Angus cattle, and the oil industry in this county. Things that, as you can imagine, this small room, all those wonderful stories, couldn't tell. Just significantly, just a tidbit of those stories could be displayed on here with all those walls. And now we've got really good room and space to go in, to dive into all those stories and tell them with the proper grandeur that they are. And so we'll have 2 sister spaces. That will be wonderful. So please, as you're out in the community, brag on us as much as we like to brag on ourselves. So thank you all for coming, and hopefully there'll be more people through the door. Look throughout the building. It's gorgeous. When we renovated, we have a slideshow in there of some of the stuff that wasn't touched. Or the beams up here, they've always been up there. It was a white ceiling, a beige ceiling, but when they put that blue up there, they just popped. It was taken care of. That was one of the only things that didn't get damaged damaged by water, but the floor is the original floor. The only thing that we redid was that sometime in the 1950s, they cut off the front of this altar or stage and made it a flat front. So we have redone that, and he's planning to do an amazing job making it look absolutely original. But other than that, everything in here was the way it was. We found the light fixtures downstairs in the dirt basement, and they had taken them down to put up some ceiling fans because the AC didn't work very well. Well, it works now. It feels good. So, it's wonderful, and not having to stuff every corner that wasn't presentation space with artifacts just expands our possibilities that we can actually grab those things out occasionally instead of digging through piles in sub-basements and dirt and back closets. And it's just